today's LeetCode problem. This is LeetCode medium, grumpy bookstore owner, right? So let's see what the question is asking. So there is a bookstore owner that has a store open for n minutes. Every minute, some number of customers enter the store. You are given an integer array customers of length n, where customer size is the number of customers that enters the store at the start of the ith minute, and all those customers leave after end of that minute. So basically the question is asking that we have given a customer, and at particular ith minute, which is this 0th minute, 1th minute, a customer I number of customers enters in the stores, and after the end of that minute, that number of customers leave that store, right? This is the meaning of the question, right? On some minutes the bookstore owner is grumpy. You are given a binary array grumpy, where grumpy is 1 if the bookstore is owner is grumpy during the ith minute, and 0 otherwise. Okay. When the bookstore owner is grumpy, customers of that minutes are not satisfied, otherwise they are satisfied. And the bookstore owners knows a secret technique to keep themselves not grumpy for minutes, consecutive minutes, but can only use it once, which is given this minutes, right? Return the maximum number of customers that can be satisfied throughout the day. Okay. So basically the question is that we have given a customers array, right? And the grumpy and the grumpy array and the minutes. So this this customer is number of customers entering in the ith minute, which is at this is at 0, right? This is at 0, 1. This is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, right? So this is the this is 0th minute, this is 1th minute, 2th minute. So one customer is entering at 0th minute and leave after at the starting of 1th minute, right? So and 1th minute after this, and at 1 minute this 0, no customers are entering, right? And second minute one customer is entering, and then leave it at starting of 3. So at 3 two customers are entering. That's what the meaning is, right? And what the grumpy is here, that if it is just like that, if the grumpy is 0, that the owner is grumpy, then customer is not satisfied. Otherwise if grumpy is 1, the customer is not satisfied, right? And we have given a minutes 3. This is to that it is some kind of power or something, you can say, that it is given to owner, that a consecutive minutes, at consecutive minutes, this time of consecutive minutes, the owner can will control its grumpiness. And at that and that minutes, if the customers are entering, they are satisfied with it, right? These are the conditions, and we need to find the maximum number of customers that can be satisfied throughout the day, right? Basically the question is asking this, right? Okay. Okay, so we understand the question, basically, right? So for finding the maximum number of customers, one thing is for sure one thing is for sure, that if the companies is 0, then at the that and at that minutes, if the number at that minutes, the number of customers which are entering at that minute will be satisfied automatically. I'm sure about that, right? So if the grumpy value is zero, then the number of customers customers at ith minute is satisfied, will be is satisfied, right? Will definitely be satisfied, right? Satisfied, yeah, sure, right? That will that at the ith minute will be definitely satisfied, right? It means we just need to focus on this one part, right? So we will just focus it on the grumpy value 1, right? So for finding the maximum number of customers, we have given a minutes value. This is a consecutive minutes, right? So what does this consecutive minutes will do? It can it can it can satisfy the customers satisfy the customers just it can satisfy the customers entering within these within these minutes, and that can be any and that can be any consecutive minutes, any consecutive minutes, right? So if you see in this first example, the minutes is 3 here. So in this 3, either you can take 0, 1, 2, or you can take 1 2 3, or you can take 2 3 4, or you can take 3 4 5, or you can take 4 5 6, or you can take 5 6 7, right? Because it should be consecutive, so you need to take consecutive minutes, right? And minutes is 3, so you can take any 3 minutes, either you start from 0 to 2, or 1 to 3, or 2 4, any consecutive minutes. So how will you decide, how will you decide at which minutes you will take? Definitely this would be definitely in my answer. I'm sure of that, at the grumpy eye if is 0, then I'm sure of that, that these customers will be in my answer for of course. But to which one I need to take, which but the game is on only on this minutes, and which number of minutes I need to choose, right? So if you see one thing, the consecutive things, this consecutive minutes, here if you see, if focus on consecutive minutes, consecutive minutes, it means I need to, if I take analogy with array, I need to focus on sub array, right? Sub array, what does sub array means? Consecutive number of times, right? Sub array means consecutive, this is sub array, right? Consecutive minutes means we need to see consecutive, it means I need to choose, I need to choose a specific sub array, I need to choose a specific sub array from customers, right? Okay, so one thing is sure about, I need to focus on sub array, and I need to find the maximum. Don't you think it, don't you think the question now becomes now becomes the maximum sum of sub array? Don't you think the question is just a maximum sum of sub array according to this minutes only? Huh? This minutes is just a length that you need to take, if you focus this minutes to length, you need to take three size of length to get the maximum sum of within this limits sub array of length 3, length 3, right? This is just as that, just as that. But there is slightest twist, there is a slightest twist, that you will focus on this one only, not 0, because 0 will to automatically include now, because we we definitely can take 0 with the grumpy eye 0, this grumpy whose grumpy eye 0 we can definitely take, but whose grumpy eye is 1, we need to take that, right? We need to take that. So definitely we will focus on this one only and calculate, and calculate calculate the maximum customers I can get whose grumpy is, whose grum whose grumpy value is 1 at that ith minute, right? Right. So basically now the question is just, right, that we will just include that customers which has grumpy which has grumpy value which has grumpy value 1 at that point of time, and accordingly find the max number of customers of size 3, or you can take minutes 3, right? Because this index is representing minutes here, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is representing minutes, so you can take it, take an analogy with length or the minutes, right, of customers, uh, within the within the length of length of minutes of 3 minutes, right, of 3 consecutive minutes, right? Just we need to find that. Now what we use for this maximum sum of subarray, right? So basically what we need to do, we are, suppose this a b c d e f g and h, this is the thing. So I need to take, suppose, 4, right? So what we'll do, we will check this abcd, right? And we will include only that customers which has grumpy value 1, right? So this is abcd, right? So suppose this abcd part answer comes as sum, right? Answer comes as sum, right? This 4 is included, but now I need to check further part. So how we will check? We will just slide this window. We will just slide this window. This ABCD is a window. Now the next window would be BCDE, and that will be all be four. So always we need to make four. We need to take 4 minutes, right? So ABCD is the first, then we will slide it. So BCDE. So this sum conclude ABCD. So we will need to minus sum minus A plus E, right? We will need to sum minus A plus E. This is we do in some Subarray, right? But here the catch is we need to only include or delete the grumpy value is one, right? So basically we need to check that which customer has grumpy value one. So I will include in that sum, and when we are sliding it, I will check with, before differentiating it from A, that whether the previous value, this A value is grumpy value is one or not, because we have included only the grumpy value one, right? That's the motto. So basically what we do, we will use we will use sliding window for this problem to find out the max number of customers, right? So one thing is that what are the max customers we will get in these minutes. So for that to get max number of customers in given minutes, in given consecutive minutes, of course, right? Because that would be consecutive minutes. The main is consecutive minutes here. The main line is consecutive minutes, right? Just what we need to do, we will in, we will use sliding window concept. And in sliding window we will use sliding window. In sliding window, what we do, we will include only that. So see, ABCD is 4 consecutive minutes, but in this four, suppose this A value has one and C value is grumpy value is one. So we will include only this A and C, right? We will include only this A and C, right? So suppose in this is grumpy value, this is zero, this is one, and this is zero, right? And again we will take this is a zero, this is one, this is again one, this is zero, right? So in this ABCD, this is a four consecutive, right? So we will include only this A plus C. We will include only plus A plus C, because this is only grumpy value one, and we will focus only on grumpy value. But when we slide this window, we need to delete this A from this. So before deleting it, we will check whether it was have that grumpy value one or not. It has grumpy value one, so we will minus it there. But before including this E, we will again check that whether this E has grumpy value of one or not. So it has not grumpy value. So we don't include it, right? So basically it forms C. Now again I need to shift it to F C D F. So before for shifting, we need to delete this B. But before deleting this B, I need to check whether we have included or not, because we are only including the grumpy value one. So this zero, this grumpy value is zero, so we have not included that in previous, so we will also not delete it, right? But this f has grumpy value 1. It means I need to include that, so I will include it, right? Again I need to shift it to G, right? So when I shift this, I need to check that C has grumpy value or not. And okay, and one thing is also sure, that when we are just shifting it and when we are calculating it, I need to store its maximum value. I need to store in maximum value in other, suppose CNT, right? And that would be, it will be the maximum value, right? Before it was A plus C, then it becomes C only, then it becomes C plus F. So basically we are storing the max of all the possibilities, which we can go A B C D, then B C D E, then C D F, and we will store the max value of all that, definitely, right? So we got our max value, right? We got our max value by doing things, so but after iterating this 4 4 4 4. But how we will include uh, how we will include the zero part, right? So if you observe, if you think, if you see that we are included only this one part, right? So in this CNT, 0 was not included, right? 0 was not included, only included is 1. So there will be no overlapping condition, so we will just include all the customers which whose group p value is 0. Definitely we will include all the add all the customers whose grumpy value grumpy I value is 0, and return our answer. Simple. We will try run on a specific example, but this is just you to show that how this is working, right? So we will include only that customers whose grumpy customers at ith minute whose grumpy I is 1, right? That's the motto, and we will find out this is how we will find out. Definitely. So let's just take an example. This is starting example which is given example problem. So we will just quick a dry run. This is the same dry run which we have done here. This is the same dry run just to show you how this is working. So this minutes is 3, grumpy value is here, customer value is here. So first thing is, uh, this answer is, this will store the max customers stored within this minutes, right? And this count is to which is differentiating between these factors. So first thing is, I need to store all the minutes between 3. So this is 0. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So 0, 1 and 2, right? This need to be included. So the first thing is, I will include the first part or not. See, the grumpy value is 0. So let's just write this in here to, right, for visualization purpose, right? So one part is 0, it is 0. So I am focusing on just grumpy value 1, right? That's what this for minute is, right? That's what for this minute is. So 0 is included or not? No, it will not include it because this is grumpy value 0. Next part is 1. So yes, grumpy value is 1. It means I need to take this. It is 0, right? So I will just include this 0. So 1, grumpy value is 0. We will not include this one. So grumpy value is 1 now. So we will include this 0, right? Grumpy value is 0. So we will not include this. So the first three length of this customer's array we got 0, right? So I will also store the max of this answer comma cnt. Till now I got 0, right? Now I need to shift this window till 3. So when I want to include this 3, I need to delete this one because the length is fixed 0, 1. This is the length 3. So we will delete it only on when this grumpy value is 1, but it is 0. So we don't need to check. We don't need to delete or something. But for this need to be added or included in my CNT count, that need to be grumpy 1. So it is 1. It is 1, right? So I need to add it. If I add it, that becomes 2, and the answer will be 2, right? Now after this, when we slide this one to one, I need to delete it first, the previous position, that is 1. So I need to delete it. So I will delete it. Now I need to include this if it is grumpy value is 1, but it is not, so I will don't do this. So the max value is again cnt, right? Now this 1 to 1 is over. Now this 211, right? This 211. So this include, after including this 5 1, I need to check for 2. 2 values, grumpy value is not 1, so we don't need to do anything. But for including this one, I need to focus on this grumpy value. It is 1, so I will just add this plus 1, which is now becomes 3. So this 3 need to be updated. Now this 211 is over. Now I need to shift it to 117. This 117, 7 is 0 and the previous value is 1. So I need to delete the previous value to include this 7, right? So this 2 value is 1 only because the slide window is shifted now, and this is not included in our window. So this value should be deleted, and its grumpy value is 1 because we have already taken. So it means I need to delete it. So, and the 7 value is 0, so we will not include it, and this is 1. So maximum value is already 3, and cnt is got 1, so we will not update that. Now I need to shift this. So for shifting this, I need to delete it the previous if its grumpy value is 1. It is not, so we will don't delete it, but it is included, so I will include this. This is 5 and that becomes 6. So 6 is greater than 3, that would be included 6. And this is how we got the max value of grumpy customers, that is 6, right? Now the thing is, we have on this 6 is only the customers. The answer is the number of customers whose grumpy value grumpy value is 1, right? It means we can simply include all the customers whose grumpy value is 0, because it will not overlap, right? So basically at last what we will do, we will just include all the customers whose grumpy value is 0, whose corresponding grumpy value is corresponding grumpy value is grumpy I is 0, right? So that would be 6 plus 0 include 1, 0 include 1, 0 include 1, 0 include 7. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 69, 9 and 7, 16. That would be our answer. This is how we will solve this problem using sliding window, right? So basically this is how we use sliding window. This is basic simple sliding window concept. Just you need to figure out that this question needs to be solved in using sliding window, and you have to just focus on the grumpy value 1, right? Right, let's try to implement this and you will better understand, right? Let's take customers dot size. Now the thing is, first thing is we need to find the maximum number of customers in this minutes, in the given minutes, right? For that I will take cnt 0 and the answer 0, which will store the final. First thing I need to store till this length, till 101 value, right? So I will store till these minutes. Why I have not included this minutes? Because we have started from 0, not 1, right? So what we will do, we will just add. But before adding, I will include only that customers whose at ith minute is 1, right? So I will include only that one. So customer size is 1, and after this I will just store this in my final answer. Now again I need to start from minutes, right? Because basically we are sliding it, right? We are sliding it. See, implementation can be different. You can take two pointers and only requires one loop, right? So implementation can be different. You can use any implementation. I'm using this. You are feel free to implement at your style. Either you take two index inj and start using that, so that would be fine. I'm using this. So we will start from I is equals to minutes, because that would be, but that need to be slide window, right? So for sliding window, what we need to do, I will first need to delete it from the previous position. So that previous position is what, if I am including this minutes now, so the previous position would be the customers I minus minute, right? This would be I minus minutes. How this is working? Because if you see, the 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 first position was 0, and if I do I minus minutes, it would become 0. When I need to delete it 1, so if I do I minus minutes, so that if I this I becomes minutes plus 1, so that would be 1, right? So it will delete it from the starting point and adding to the starting the current point, right? This is the customers I, right? So this is how we will delete it, the first part, the previous element which we have included. But the thing is, we need to check first that with the grumpy I value is 1, because that only that customers I have included. So I need to also check that if the value grumpy value is 1 or not, right? If it is 1, so I will delete it, and if it is 1, then I will include it, right? Only then I will delete and include it, right? And also I need to store the max value in my count, right? That's the whole logic for this inclusion of consecutive minutes, right? And this will work till see the whenever you try to include an element, you will need to delete the previous element if that is included, right? That's the whole logic, and ultimately I will got my the maximum number of customers which whose grumpy value is I, right? Now I need to add also all the customers whose grumpy value is 0, because that need to be included. So I will iterate again in whole array, and if check that if grumpy value is 0, I will include all the customers in my answer, and at last I will return answer. Let's try to run this. If let's see if we got okay, this customers dot size, any compilation error. I don't think any compilation error would be there. Yeah, we don't go any. Let's just submit it. So yeah, we passed all the cases, right? We passed all the cases. So the thing is, the time and the space complexity would be, only that we are iterating only one time in whole minutes, right? See, if you see 0 to minutes and minutes to n only, right? So that will take O of n, of course, and also we are again iterating O of n for including customers for Grumpy 0. So O of n again. So overall will be O of n, and the space complexity would be, O of 1 only, because we are taking only variables, we are not taking any extra spaces, so that would be O of 1 only. So this is how we will use sliding window. So basically this is a basic sliding window implementation, right? But just you need to see that whether where you have to include it. You only need to include the grumpy value 1, right? This is how we solve the questions. Hope you understand it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.